Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
These marriages are not perfect, but all in all, they seem to work. Marriage is an institution for grown-ups.
It's like a love-hate relationship.
There are no bosses in a modern marriage. He knows he's lucky to have a wife.
Hello everybody, welcome to episode 40 of Husband and Wife Sentenced to Life with me, Simon, with Lorra.
Morning.
We're just walking down the driveway of our Gloucestershire residence. A lovely little cottage. Now, we're doing the gate now, the barn gate. This has got to be opened by lifting it. Ugh. Big swing gate. What are you doing? You taking a big stick?
No.
What are you doing then?
I think it goes at the bottom of the gate.
There you go.
Oh.
I don't know what we're doing here. The sun's just coming up. Fluffy clouds. It actually looks like it's going to be nicer than the weather's predicting.
I hope so.
Laura's currently hanging sticks. What that's going to do. So we're onto the main road, and it's just a single lane country road. That way is Beverley and a place called Ham, which are both actually too far to walk this morning. That way, I don't know, it's towards Thornbury, but I think we go this way, towards the pub, your natural home. So, yeah, we're taking a walk. It's a very quiet place. I don't know if you can hear, but there's very little around here. It's a bit of a morning mist.
It's definitely a beautiful setting.
Peaceful. Now, you never know when you book somewhere what you're going to get, do you?
No.
But I think there's a cows in the field here. Look, the farmer's field. Different walk to what we were doing in Calshot, a walk that I'm already missing.
Yeah, we've not got the crunch of the stones.
No.
Yeah, you're right. When you book somewhere, especially this time, because trying to find somewhere was really difficult. Because
Yeah, and we don't know the area.
No.
And we needed to be close to Bristol, but also we wanted some countryside. Don't mind doing a bit of driving.
Well, we even looked at staying within Bristol, like within
hotels.
But they just weren't available, or there was just stupid prices.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So we'll get to the cottage a bit later. Let's have a run through yesterday. Saying goodbye to Hampshire, saying goodbye to Calshot, your place where you grew up, your hometown.
Mm-hmm. Village.
Yeah. So we got up, we did the walk, did the last bit of packing. And
which I hate. I hate the packing part, and I especially hate it for leaving somewhere.
Just very sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I just felt a bit down in the morning. It was a lovely walk, by the way. The walk yesterday morning, the pictures went up. Got a lot of feedback on them because it was a stunning walk. But then it was kind of time to go. We packed up, packing the car. It's on the Insta stories yesterday, the last of the Hampshire Diaries. We could not have fit a thimble in that car after yesterday's packing. Absolutely packed to the rafters. The kids had bags under their feet, bags in between them. They're massive IKEA bags full of stuff. But we got it in, and off we set for a 90-minute drive to Longleat.
Yep, one of my favourite places.
Which is a stately home, and got to be one of the first safari parks in Britain, I'm guessing. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, no, what happened was Lord Bath,
right.
I don't know, 7th or something, I don't know, the eccentric guy, he had the house.
Is he the guy who started it?
Yeah, no, it's
Marquis of Bath.
Yeah.
Right.
He had this house and needed to basically fund his lifestyle in the house. And this guy, I think you said he was associated with circuses.
Chipperfield.
Was it him? Was it? He came up with the idea of getting a load of lions and opening up a safari. So it was the first ever safari outside of Africa. And I think it started with 50 lions.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. So basically, it was a lion safari, and it started off like that.
So I've been there a couple of times with you. I'm sure you've been a load of times. Easy drive there through the countryside. Got there a lot quicker than I thought. And we just had
It's a stunning place.
near the cows. Having a little more.
So they think, because I think they probably don't see people very often. And
It's a very quiet road.
You think they're thinking, it's food.
I've just took a photograph of the road. I'm going to take one that way so you can see the way. You can see our cottage on that. Oh, that's why they're mooing. There's a bloody bloke driving a 4x4 through a field. I'm going to say he's the farmer. So we had a great couple of hours. We had a picnic when we got there. And we said to the kids, Leo and Betsy Pearl, go and find a table. They sat us down right next to the toilets.
Well, like Betsy said.
If you need to go.
Yep. Perfect place. But yeah, it was. I would say it was our first proper picnic that we've had.
Yeah.
And we all love a picnic. You know, a proper picnic with sandwiches and little cakes and stuff like that. So it was our first one.
We had the Joe Nuts,
Yeah.
which are Jaffa cake donuts. First time for them.
They were right.
I went for cheese, coleslaw and salt and vinegar crisps. Betsy Pearl had Marmite and
What's
Quavers.
Quavers.
What did you have?
I had my favourite sandwich ever, cheese and tomato. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what did we start with in there? We went to...
We had a look round the little, what do they call them, stupid little things, simples. What do they call them?
Meerkats.
Meerkats. Did a meerkat walk through?
Yeah, we went to all the little animal walkthroughs.
A lot of weird animals I've never seen
Well-
before. The cat otter.
The Dick.
The Dick. Oh God, you had some fun with that yesterday.
It was a tiny little Dick. It was. It was.
Yeah. Everybody.
I'm still having fun with it.
I told you, you said it so many times, I said, right, stop saying it now, because it's boring.
And then another woman stood there saying to her husband, "Ooh,
Dick, look at this, a Dick.
Well,
One for the women.
things.
So yeah, did that. We had a little play in the fort. We caught the little train, which is a proper little steam train.
Yeah, you were disappointed the day before because it was a road train, not a track
It's
train.
it's a fake news. It's just a car. It's a long
This time you
car.
got to go on the track and have that doo-doo
Yeah.
feeling.
And it takes you past the lake where you can catch the jungle cruise, which we didn't actually do yesterday because the queues were a bit big. And
But you get to see the gorillas on their islands.
yeah,
The
you saw
sea
sea lions.
Yeah, it's a great.
Look, it's a safari park. You know what we saw.
But we did the maze. Again, I think
Yeah.
it's the biggest maze in UK or something. I don't know, but
Hedge maze.
hedge maze. Yeah.
It's a good one. The last time we went there, I couldn't find the middle. We got there really quick.
You found the end pretty quick today.
Got
yesterday.
there. Yeah, beat the kids, which is a surprise.
You're
I'm
right
rubbish.
proud of yourself.
I was. Because I'm not a big fan of mazes.
Why are you scared of getting lost?
It's, yeah, well, I don't know, I shouldn't say I'm not a big fan, I didn't mind it.
But yeah, I like the maze.
That was it really, we had a tootle around, we saw a lot more than that. We were there for a good few hours.
Yeah, it's a great place. And actually,
Crocodiles,
I think it's
koalas. I mean, it's a safari, it's a zoo. You see all the animals, tigers, lions. Oh, let's talk about the drive-through. Because that's the first bit really, isn't it? There's an actual car coming down this country lane. You can hear it from a long way away.
hold on. Come down quite fast.
country drivers, innit? They know the roads. So the first part of Longleat, you stay in your car and it's a drive-through safari.
Yeah, well, this is the main attraction.
You go through giraffes and zebras, and then before you know it, you come to a turn-off and it says to you, monkeys, if you go through this gate, your car's going to get damaged.
Yeah.
Now obviously every time we've been to this place, we've been in a hire car. The last thing you want to do is damage a hire car, but the second to last thing you want to do is not see the monkeys, because it is the best bit. So we risked it for a biscuit.
Yeah.
Laura's instruction were, keep driving whatever.
And spray the...
Yeah. She sent me to spray the window cleaner. And it initially looked like there were about 6 little monkeys in there. There were probably 200. And they all come out. And we were laughing his heads off, watching them attack cars in front.
They do, they go straight for the aerials.
And we probably got through, what, 2/3 of it without a monkey coming near?
Yeah, and you were like, yes, this
We've
is it,
seen
we're
the
almost
monkeys.
out.
It's been brilliant.
He heard you, didn't he?
There's a pheasant there, look. In the field. Big pheasant.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Suddenly, we see all these monkeys doing roly-polies and fighting, and it's so funny, but they're a bit agitated. Then there were 3 or 4 on car bonnet. Again, you can see a video of this. I had to cut the video short because I was swearing at them. They jump up and the first thing they do is go for the windscreen wipers. Laura's saying, spray your thing, spray your thing. But in every car, when you spray your thing, it does the windscreen wipers.
Yeah.
It's just agitates these little red-arsed fellas even more. And one tried to escape with us on the roof. I think we got out without any damage.
Yeah, no, I did a check.
But it's like, whew, that's a close call. Whew, thank God we're not doing that again. Straight into deer. Are they deer? There was stags with massive antlers, and I'm like, well, they're just going to put holes in the Skoda. But we went in.
You get to feed them, don't you?
Well, you don't have to.
Well, no, that is true.
I mean, you can drive through and look at them like normal people, or you can buy the very expensive cups of food for £1 each, which we did. And you got a cup, and Betsy Pearl got a cup. And down came the windows. Now these deer, they know the score.
But you'd think they'd never been fed either, because the way they were just sticking their heads in people's cars.
We've all seen You've Been Framed with these clips. Camels, whatever. They just get their heads straight in.
So greedy.
So as soon as you put your window down,
Oh my gosh.
the full head of the deer, luckily it wasn't the one with the antlers.
And they've got quite big heads, you know.
Yeah, straight in. Betsy Pearl puts her window down, straight in. So
And the thing is, you think of deer as being these calm, beautiful...
not at tea time.
Oh my gosh, they were...
It's worth having a look at that video on my Instagram stories on the Bristol Diaries, because Laura got bit and I happened to be filming it at the
proper bit my
time.
arm. Like, because the plan was for me to try and get the food, because literally as soon as I got the food in my hand, it was in.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to turn around to give the kids some food. And as I do it, he proper put his whole mouth around the top of my arm.
In the food league, I'm going to say the alpacas we had the other day, far more polite. They're hungry, they hang around,
Yeah.
but far more polite. They wait till you've got it in your hand. The deer, the gloves are off.
Yeah, I had teeth marks.
He's bit me! He's bit me! You went, your accent came.
He said I went back
He bit my arm!
to Hampshire.
Yeah. And then your advice, which was panicked but really stupid, because one with the antlers came over to Leo's side and he's got some food. Just put your window half down. Now these things are the size of horses. So if he pushes his face or antlers against that piece of glass trying to get food, he's going to smash the car window. I'm going, put your window down, put it all the way. Because I'm thinking, can you imagine getting a smashed window and we've still got to do all this driving?
Who would have thought in that whole safari, the most crazy part of it would be the deer.
The chilled out deers. So, lovely time. Bits of it were closed off, didn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll say this, It's a chav magnet.
Which you wouldn't think. You wouldn't think it.
Nah,
But
we're borderline chavs.
yeah.
But
there were some interesting people.
we look like Stefan Dom off Gogglebox compared to most of the people there. We look like posh country folk. Some very interesting people to look at. Again, a gazillion mobility scooters. The big as well as wild swimming and alpaca walking, mobility scooters are the big trend in England. So then we were back in the car for what should have been a similar length drive, an hour and a half.
Yeah.
To our cottage north of Bristol, and an hour and a half, no dramas. How wrong we were. We made it as far as the outskirts of Bath, or Bath as you probably call it.
I do call it Bath, yeah.
You were asleep.
Well, I wasn't feeling too great. I hadn't.
No.
Yeah.
Leo sleeps every time he stops moving. There must be an animal that does that. Every time it stops, it sleeps. That's what he does. If he sits down, he sleeps. If he lays down, he sleeps. So he's asleep in the back. And we hit, you know that thing where they make it down to one lane on a road?
Yeah.
So there's traffic lights, so you have to wait for the guys coming back. We hit a row, about 4 of them, just as we were coming into Bath. It took an age to get through. Probably half an hour to get through these traffic
Didn't
lights.
have my dad telling us the road traffic.
And the Skoda sat-nav, even though it's got a traffic setting, refuses to tell you where there's any traffic.
No, and then there are roads closed, bridges shut.
Well, the bridge across the River Avon, I think it is, that goes through Bath. We got right up to the bridge, it's closed. So then we have to go right back up to where we were coming into Bath to get out.
But a sat-nav in a modern car
I don't get it.
should be up on those kind of things.
Yeah.
It was so annoying. And then, yeah.
So then we had to go across another toll bridge, which was a tiny single lane toll bridge. Absolutely beautiful, like a medieval bridge.
Well, it was just a guy stood there with his hat.
He had a weird thing, nearly like a frying pan that you chucked a quid in.
And I'm like, are they just... And it was like, young girl, young guy, and I'm thinking, they're just making some money here, a bit of busking.
But from there to Chipping Sodbury.
Yeah.
Is it Chipping Norton?
Chipping Norton, yeah.
There's Chipping Sodbury as well. Chipping Albury. Anyway, it was just traffic. And it took us probably an hour longer than it should have. We're passing a field now with about 60 brown cows in.
These ones are a bit quieter.
What would you say about the cows though, Laura?
Well, they are all stood up.
They're all stood up. They're all saying, Simon, Laura, enjoy your day. Welcome to
Well,
Gloucestershire.
I've got my thick hoodie on today and my hat, and I'm all right.
Yeah.
I panicked when I opened the curtains.
What was the
this morning.
temperature? Was it about 10? Yeah, a bit.
I think so, but it actually feels warmer than that. Oh, this one
Nice.
here is looking at us.
Morning. Moo. Say no.
No, if you turn round then, if you recognised it.
He can talk to the animals. So probably 5 miles away from the cottage, we were suddenly on single lane roads. And this is, whilst terrifying to drive, a thing of beauty for me. Absolutely gorgeous. And you know, you're having to do that thing where you let other drivers through.
Yeah.
I love it. Just taking some photos of the cows. Look, them all looking at me.
I know.
Morning.
Aww.
Oh,
They look quite cute.
so sorry, just lost my track. So little country lanes. All I wanted to do was get here before it went dark because there's no street lights.
But it's never nice, no matter where you're going on holiday, arriving to your room, your house, whatever, at night time, because it feels different, don't you think?
But we did it. We got here about 5:30, and remarkably, the sat nav on the car, because I'd programmed it while we were back in Calshot, got us right to it. And we pulled up outside, and look at that, Laura, a massive steaming pile of manure.
It is steaming.
Right, that is a 40-foot long pile of steaming manure, which is how his podcast has been described.
Desperate Dan, is that the one?
Whatever he's putting that on is going to grow. So we pulled up at the cottage. It's got the proper, what do you call them gates? Like a farmhouse gate. Big, huge gate, but it's already open. And that is huge, isn't it? It's in this, it's not a little garden by any means, but it is surrounded by trees, hedges. It's on the road, but it's secluded from the road. And it is just the prettiest little cottage. You can see pictures of it on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah, no, it is, and I think we've got a lot of places to explore.
Yeah.
And it's a weird one, because I think last night I was feeling quite sad, and obviously, like, I just said bye to my mum and dad, and I had that really, like, horrible feeling when you say bye to people. I hate that feeling, and I missed them instantly.
Yeah.
And then I also had that feeling of, well, we're here now. It's literally days.
Yeah, but that's like thinking, oh, it's only days till we fly back.
No, I know that, and I do have
break.
that feeling as well. I have that feeling of this is the second.
You got to learn to switch that
trip.
off.
I know.
Because otherwise, you can go on a 2-week holiday and ruin the second week by thinking we've only got a week left.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but last night I had that, like, I couldn't get it out of my head, and you
weren't with me, and I was absolutely buzzing.
I feel better this morning, and I'm excited to, drive around these places, but also excited to go and find out.
I'm excited to do breakfast with the kids. Betsy Bill just popped up.
The places where Leo will be, because, it was a very different experience for us choosing universities, because you're doing it literally all via the internet.
Yeah.
Which is a weird way to choose a university, but I think a lot of people had to do that this year, regardless of whether they lived here or not. But yeah, so that I'm excited about.
But we got here last night, we walked in. The cottage has got a utility room that's the size of a kitchen, then it's got a proper country kitchen with an auger and nice wooden pine table, a little hallway upstairs, and then a cute little living room with an open fire, which we got going last night. 3-bedroom upstairs. It's beautiful.
It's lovely.
I will be posting way too many pictures. Just walking through a little wood now. We're coming up to the junction.
I've got to get my head round the bins though.
A lot of bins.
Well, and the thing is, in the UK, not everybody does it the same way. Counties or
each council, each district.
Yeah, everybody does it slightly differently. So here does it differently to how my parents do it. So literally there's a different bin for every material, and there's even food waste bin. So I'm like, what? I've got to not put anything else other than food in this bin. So it's quite a weird thing to get your head round. So this morning I'm like, right, we've got to work out the bins.
Yeah. Last night we drove where we're walking now. It's just one road. We drove through a little hamlet called Ham, which is, I want to get a picture, I think we're near it. It's called Ham, and just after that is a tiny little town village, I'm guessing, called Berkeley. And should we turn round?
Yeah.
We've done about 20 minutes.
I think we've done.
How far? Yeah, that's it. That'll be a 3k walk.
A little more.
So we went to Berkeley. The plan had been, we still want to try the vegetarian Burger King, which we've not tried, been here 2 weeks. And the plan was to pick one up somewhere between Longleat and Bristol. The thing is, you never drive through anywhere big enough. And Laura had told me there was one in Thornbury, which is close to us. It's the nearest sort of town. Couldn't find it. So we ended up just driving up to Berkeley, and there was a chippy that sells everything. doner kebabs.
For a little place, there's a chippy, there's a Chinese, there's an Indian takeaway. So
A couple of little supermarkets, a
Yeah.
one-stop and a co-op. So we parked up, we put his food order in. The chippy's cute because they only allow 2 customers at a time, and as soon as you order you have to go and stand out on the street. So it's like a little community out on
Yeah.
the street all waiting for their orders. And you know when you think people can tell you're not from round here?
do you know what? I always feel like that here, and I think in these small villages especially,
Yeah.
they knew. They were like, aye.
I can't talk because as soon as I talk, I'm from the north.
Yeah.
But what these people don't know is, not just from the north, we're from Dubai. So we're even foreigner.
Yeah.
Foreigner. So we ordered his food. We walked along to co-op. It's a little co-op. Cyclists coming towards us now and say morning. Watch this. Morning. He said morning, all right. He got an extra word in. I'll get him
He
tomorrow
heard
morning.
you because he heard you from way back saying, I'm gonna say morning.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, because you've got a loud whisper.
So, we went along to co-op, and it's all exciting because it's foods we can't get, even the simplest things.
Yeah.
And as we were coming out, it's a very narrow shop with only a couple of aisles. As we're coming down the aisle towards the till, there was a lady shelf stacking. I'd got a little trolley. Now she's right in the middle, a bit like when you get the horses on the road in Bewley. And all she had to do was hutch forward to the shelf and I could get round.
Yeah.
So I kind of went towards her, and I don't know if I said excuse me, I think I was on the way to saying it. And she stood up to get out of my way and she went, "You're not going to get past with me there."
Yeah.
Like really nasty.
Yeah. She wasn't very happy, was she? And then
No, and I went, "Oh yeah, sorry." You know,
and then
go to the till.
the
Now,
lady.
the lady at the till's lovely. She's talking to obviously one of her regulars.
Well,
"You all right, Pam? You all right? It's lovely to see you
I
again."
don't know if she did know it, but she was very polite to her.
So friendly.
Yeah.
And they're having a little country chat. Then we come up next and I said, "Oh, could I buy a couple of bags, please?" Because
Yeah.
we'd forgot ours. She threw 2 carrier bags at me. Just didn't say a
And then
word.
she didn't say a word to us for the rest of the time, which I just thought,
So rude.
and we were being so polite, like,
Yeah.
oh, thank you very much, yeah. And we always are. But I felt it. I thought, whoa.
Not very nice at all. Just taking a photograph of the steaming dung. Because even that is in an idyllic setting. Yeah, not the nicest.
What's the term for that when,
I don't know what it is.
only like the local folk?
Well, I'm not sure it's xenophobia. I think xenophobia is on country. Localised xenophobia.
But yeah,
But anyway, not the nicest of welcomes. We went back to Chippy.
they were very friendly.
He was a lovely guy, the guy in the Chippy.
Yeah.
Campers Christmas. And then we popped to a little petrol station, picked up some wood and some ketchup and mayonnaise. That was a weird shop.
I bet you thought barbecue.
Yeah. And then we shot back home at sunset. We got in the house, we sat down with the kids round the table, and I don't know, it had been a bit of a stressful day. We'd done lovely stuff, but
It was another long day, you know, it was a lot
it felt
of
like we
travelling.
were finally unwinding there as we sat there with the kids eating pizza. You did a chip advisor for Berkeley fish and chips, and exciting news.
Yeah, well, I
You
gave
were
it a
back.
9, but Leo was not happy with me.
Well, Leo's a bit of a chipster. He's a hipster chipster.
He said my chip ratings have been all over the show and said,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard, you know, it's really hard having the responsibility of being the chip advisor.
Look, if you're going to become a food critic, Laura, you have to stick by. Yeah, baby, look. You have to stick. Morning, cows.
Well, it's hard now because I've put a 9 out there, you know, and then,
Well, that's high.
yeah,
You can't get much higher than a 9.
exactly. I mean, well, 10 would be the perfect chip, and I don't know if that's there.
Lovely, this, isn't it? Ah. Oh, looking at us, look.
Oh, look, the mummy's feeding its baby over there.
Oh. I love being out in country.
Look at them all looking.
I'll put a little video of this on, I
They
reckon.
heard me. They were like, oh.
Do you know what? Let's do a photo. This could be today's podcast photo. Me, you and the cows. I'll do. So, just lovely to sit down with the kids. I had a 0% Guinness. We had his pizzas. You rated the chips. Controversially. And great news. The house has got a fantastic shower.
Hold on a minute though.
That can be make or break.
But what has it got?
What?
It's got the,
Septic tank?
yes.
Well, it's countryside, isn't it?
Yeah, I know,
You
but,
should be used to this.
yeah, I know, but it did make me chuckle when I went
It's
into...
not like your dad's septic tank where we have to save bathwater and all share a bath.
Well, I reckon the owners would love it if we did that, but
Yeah.
as soon as I get into the toilet, we have a septic tank. Please only flush toilet paper down the toilet.
Which,
I,
that's all we're flushing.
Yeah, I only do that anyway. I would never flush anything else.
I really wanted to post. I went first to go to the toilet upstairs last night, and the toilet, because it's a cottage, it's got them low windows. So when you sat on the toilet, you're looking out on the garden, you're looking out across the farmers' fields. Somewhere up in the woods behind us, there is actually a tiny little church called St Michael's, and I can't see it, but I was wondering, the
Wondering
vicar's
if the
up there.
vicar could see you having your morning dump.
Mary, someone's down in the cottage, and he's got no clothes on. But yeah,
no, it was nice. We had our showers and got ourselves sorted, and
watch Grand Designs. What a place to watch Grand Designs, place where you want to live. And we watched
Gogglebox,
the
new
new
series.
Gogglebox. Bit sad, because I know there's been some deaths this year.
Yeah.
I think we were all a bit beat. I built an open fire, got us a fire going, which was lovely. And that was that.
Yeah, and here we are now. We've
First morning walk. Now the problem around here is, it is a little country lane, and it's about 3 miles to Berkeley, and even further down to Thornbury. So these walks aren't going to be as, they're nice, but I don't think it's going to be as interesting as the Calshot walk for us. Here we are, public footpath, Laura.
oh yeah.
So I was looking at the rights of way, because normally around these ways there's lots of rights of way. There's a deer park and a folly not far from us. So this is where we can cut in. So maybe we'll try this later.
Let me have a
Bring
little
Betsy.
look. Oh, we might need some wellies though.
It's gated off, but it's a public footpath, and I think you go right up the hill and then through the woods. It's beautiful morning, it's all mist on the trees.
Hey, the blackberries are following us.
Yeah, plenty
I
of
just
them.
want to also give a little mention to Rachel and Rebecca. Both live in Dubai,
Right,
but they've said the podcast has helped them get through at the minute. Rebecca's one of the performing arts lot, and Rachel, she is here currently with her daughter. I think I mentioned her before. Her daughter's also going to Bristol.
well look,
So
I think if you're going through that this year, you're experiencing what we're experiencing, especially Laura, with the emotions. But if it's going to be next year or the next couple of years for you, because we'll be doing this again in 2 years with Honey, we're going to try and capture the emotion over the next couple of days. What day is it today? It's Saturday today, isn't it?
Yeah, well actually I've woken up to Honey, who's in Dubai, messaging me saying she's struggling a bit today, she's missing us.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel really sad, because obviously I'd much rather have her with us.
Well, I keep saying that to her.
But yeah, she's struggling, she's missing us a little bit, and yeah, so
Yeah, so we're going to try and reflect that. It's Saturday today. We've got until Friday. Leo moves into his accommodation on Friday. He's going to see his mates. A few of them live around this area, so they're going to meet up one day this week, right?
yeah, tomorrow I think.
Yeah. I mean, he said last night, we've not even made a plan for Bristol yet. And Laura's a meticulous planner.
I know.
And he said last night, he's like, right, tomorrow morning, we'll go down to Bristol, we'll have a look at the accommodation. And I'm thinking, what? We'll just sit on the road outside and have a look at it. So you can tell he's itching to go.
Yeah.
I almost feel like saying to him, go and stay with your mates for a week. Let us enjoy it.
No, he would. But yeah, so we don't actually know for the first time really what our plans are today.
Don't know what we're doing today.
I'm going to have to get my folder, my calendars, my pencil and rubber.
Here's what I know we are doing. Because our little girl just came out in her pyjamas and socks into that cold, misty garden and gave us a cuddle. So I know that we're going back to the house. We're going to have some hot drinks, some lovely toast, and have a bit of family time, which I just can't wait for.
Yeah.
So again, as usual, I took a lot of photos on this walk today. I'll post them in a bit, along with the podcast. Thanks for listening.
Yes.
I want to say hello. A guy has just sent me a message last night, seeing that we were in this area, and said we could go to Cadbury World. So hello to Rob Williams.
Is that not Birmingham?
He says he gets a decent discount on Cadbury World if we fancy it with the family.
Oh, do you know I've never ever been, and it's somewhere I've always wanted to go, and I thought about taking my students a few times.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? Who knows? We may go.
So thanks, Rob, for that. I have read it. And thanks for keeping us company with your messages and your listening. We got quite high in the podcast charts with the last couple of days' podcasts.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Goodbye.
The end.